Are you able to make the August meeting?
I did not hear any audio online. I can't hear you, but I attached my report to the drive. We got everybody out of the 4th of July fireworks traffic under an hour without any incidents. We helped out at the lacrosse tournament with monitoring that traffic and also with the concert in the park. Oh, I can hear you now.
Perfect.
Did you have any questions about my report or?
Nope. Thanks, John.
And the pedestrian sign is back up.
I was just gonna thank you for that. I don't know if everybody knows that someone ran over the pedestrian sign in front of the bank, flattened it. And there was a fireman out here in the bay. Was it you? Was it? Oh, I was like, oh,
He just
you
doesn't
better
like
be
it.
careful.
I don't like it when I wouldn't run.
They flattened it, and there was a fireman working in the bay and he heard it. So he went out to get it and was trying to fix it, called me to tell me what happened. And in the meantime, John was trying to find it because it was missing in the road and he didn't know where it was. So then he finally figured out that Kenny had it in the garage.
This
and they
was
were
the theft call?
not that I'm aware of. But he helped Kenny get it back up there.
They anchored to the asphalt.
I'm sorry, I was,
The little pedestrian man.
Pedestrian crosswalk sign. So they knocked off the top part, but the bottom part was still there. So a motorist could have, they could have ran over it with their tire. So Kenny was trying to fix it and if we couldn't, and then John found them. So between the two of them, they got it back together and put it up. So thank you, John.
Yep, anytime.
Any other questions for John, guys? All right, move on to fire.
I don't have,
Nothing from- okay.
other than their fire stuff.
Heritage area, we got, did you have anything Dave wanted you to go over besides,
He's preparing grant applications for the community park and trails project and open CFA round. Proposed project should not interfere with possible development of the northern parcel of the village / LDC property.
and what's the date for that, meeting? No, he's got a public, listen and learn, I don't know, a brainstorming meeting, like the 22nd, I think. Is it here? At the visitor center, okay, and what time?
I guess 6:30 like this meeting, but I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
To send it to Peggy, but the.
Yeah, I just want to make sure people know, so if they want to go. I saw it somewhere, I think it was in the email. All right, if you have any questions for Dave, just shoot an email. He's not here, obviously, so we'll move on to Kathy.
We're now on our summer schedule. We're open at the visitor center every day of the week except for Wednesdays. In June, we had about 435 people visit us, which is down about 50 or so from last year. Our Canadian numbers are definitely down significantly, but something to be expected. I wanted to also say thank you to DPW. They were kind enough to replace our front window, which is broken, despite them being very busy with other stuff. So thank you so much. And then the other thing I want to bring up is that the repairs on our facade have been delayed. I spoke to the contractor last week and we agreed to push it out a little bit farther so that it doesn't start before Can-Am or the wedding that we've got happening the first week in August. So the new start date is in August. Okay. That's all I had, unless you have any questions.
Great, thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
Next up is the planning board. Janet is here.
At my report of projects we reviewed last month, our next meeting tomorrow. The report was a summary of planning board's rationale for 9B1 map 4. So that may be violations. And I was trying to write something, I just didn't get to it, but with the recent activity downtown with businesses changing location. Boards had to review the number of signs and there's still a few more to come. So that section of our law is kind of problematic in that there are current businesses that don't seem to be in compliance, and so it's puts the board in somewhat of an awkward situation to become a new property owner, or a new business owner, do X, Y, and Z when maybe across the street is somebody not from that. So it sort of becomes an issue of enforcement, but then I'm not sure what the solution is if the committee feels or the board feels sign regulations are need to be reviewed and enforcement that should be done. But from my perspective, if it's in the law on the size or illuminated signs or the number of signs, or you can have an open flag during the day and then you take it down and have a sidewalk sandwich board sign, and then there are signs regulating or controlling the size of your signage on the building, which is linked to the square footage floor space. So there are regulations, but yet we still have businesses that have 4 or 5 or 6 signs out. So it just is somewhat inconsistent. So I just wanted to bring that.
Yeah, Jen and I spoke about this a little bit, and I think the way to reconcile this is to kind of review the specific law and simplify, refine, whatever we want to do to it so that it's reasonable and concise and not like one example I'll give is the window decals we were talking about with Jane, and the total amount of area of those plus her signs are more than the square foot of her frontage. So she had to do some, like, take some of those away. And like, if you look at, for example, Chrissy Beans has a window decal. Now it's a circle, but it's 99% empty. So the question is like, do you measure the area of the filled in parts or the box that you would have to draw if you drew a box around the circle, right? Even though I'm like, so there's a little bit of vagueness on how you would consider the area of signage. And the law we have is pretty long because in the law is a reference to like a long PDF guide that says like, do what this PDF says. And then the PDF is very lengthy. And so we may want to look at that if it keeps coming up for them. Otherwise, they're forced to like try to do their best interpreting this in a way that's not a pain, but is consistent legally. And like she said, there is like, people don't come to the planning board before they put like another sticker in their window, right? And we probably don't need them to, but if they were to like plaster the whole thing with banners, it'd be different. So that's where it's a little vague.
Easier for people, I'm all about. I mean, we want to make it a simpler process for everyone, for you, for the business owner. So if that means looking at it, then
I'll send it out to you guys so you can get eyes on it and see what you think. And if we all think it's worth sitting down, we can put a small work group together, maybe 1 or 2 planning board members and 1 or 2 of us. Just go through and come up with a succincter way of communicating what we want.
It would be nice to have all the language right in the ordinance versus
Right.
referencing
Yeah.
something that nobody's gonna.
I mean, part of it is
it's
there,
attached to something
it
else.
does also
that
have things where like it points out some graphic examples because it is hard to
visualize
like
what they're
just
saying.
talk through
Yeah.
what type of signs you're talking about without just saying like, like this one, and then it has a picture of a sign. So
There just be like an addendum that gives
Yes.
them examples that's not part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that would make more sense.
But then one other thing I think go that planning board members can't serve. I don't know if you.
I didn't mention it to them yet, so let's see if I get this right. Craig, yeah.
Fine with that, but it's your decision.
Yeah, what do we need for that, Peg? Because they're appointed, but basically Stacy was resigning. And Craig, we're gonna put Craig in his position and Stacy's gonna move to an alternate. Okay. Need anything in writing or is this sufficient for that? Great. So basically, we're just swapping Craig into full-time for the planning board and Stacy Perkins to the alternate position because we were able to convince him to stay. Lesser role. Any other questions for Jenna, guys? All right. On to what's next? Engineering, BCA.
So Market Square Park, phase 1 and 2, and Brown Shores construction lines are officially closed out. All the closeout documents, copies have been given to Peggy for filing, but, so Alex's last payment happens this month. We were officially done construction wise, still looking at some funding. I talked with Linda about Brown Shores, getting kind of trying to wrap that up, get all the funding for items available for funding into them as soon as possible. So she's working on that. We're here to help too. And I think that's
Did we dig in at all to the intake?
Yes, so actually Marcellus was out there today.
Okay.
Some of the concrete ballasts that were holding us right down the lake bottom were cracked. So they replaced, I think there was like 6 total, replaced 4 of them.
You know why?
No, don't. I mean, potentially there's 2 parts of it and some might have been over torqued and cracked, but there was a few that were just in crumbles, like you see rebar, like they just obliterated. They're supposed to be reaching out to the precast.
Yeah.
Not sure why those ones, I mean, it wasn't,
I mean, they're supposed to last decades.
yeah, it's concrete.
Is there rebar through the upper part or only on the sides?
Both tops and bottoms of it. There was just 2 like that. The other ones just had a fine cracks in
Yeah, my money's on a lake monster.
them. So they got to cast 2 new ones at the very end. They're a little bit different because we have the iron pipe at the very end. But they'll do that in the next couple of weeks, get those replaced. Still did tons of research on the screen. Manufacturer, I mean, I think it's impact of who knows what. So the screen's still operating,
Yeah.
functioning as normal. If one thought is take a look at it every year to see if something else looks like something happened, there's gotta be something going on we're just not seeing.
Right.
You know, there are metal cages that can be fabricated to protect it.
Sure.
The older screen had a concrete recast around it. On this one, conversation with Department of Health went on, they didn't really want it on that, but year 1 and we've got something that is
Yeah.
excited. So.
Now, did we ever have the frazzle ice issue with the old one?
Yes,
Right, so it wasn't, okay, so it could happen multiple years. It's not a
yeah,
fluke.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't, from my memory, it hasn't happened every year. It's just when you get,
But that's loose, right? And it just gets stuck on the grate. It's not like a giant, it's not what we
giant.
think hit that bent the
Right, it's when you
fins.
get real cold temperatures, wind across it, that cold water sinks and forms ice underwater. I mean, obviously 20-foot water, it's
Right,
ice.
yeah.
It's on.
Right.
But yeah, not the first time it's happened. So, so they'll replace those other blocks, next couple weeks. Our water sewer upgrades on the streets, we will be starting survey as soon as the leaves drop to do the drone imagery. VIA applications are open now. They're due September 12th. So this application now, we can state that we're starting design. And so that should give us some more points on the VIA side, and hopefully that will turn into some funding. Those announcements are typically made end of the year, early 2026. And then Madison Barracks, Lynn and I met with Wallman on site on July 10th, and they will be putting those trench drain in starting July 28th. So we'll make sure we have someone on site periodically to observe that. Obviously, they start want to be there. There's one, they did the UFPO, the dig safe, and there's a gas line and power to the one right there. So we don't know what depth that is at, but probably it's going to be interfering with what we have. So kind of have talked about a plan of how to move forward with that. So. Now,
Really gonna happen?
I hope not.
It's on the books. We'll have to see.
And while I was on site too, Mr. Lawler mentioned something about the fence on the backside too, so I'm sure.
In what regard that he wants it fixed?
A new fence put up along the walking trail.
Once he gets the road fixed, we'll worry about the fence. That's how I feel about that. Tit for tat.
Fair enough.
Hey, you do your end, we'll do our end. Been waiting a while, so.
You guys, I think I need a approval for this final payment to Powis. I don't think it's a roll call
One last
vote.
thing on that, I have a change order for hours, it's a deduct change order, which is
Okay.
removing, and that's reflected in the payment app, it's just removing the allowance.
Okay. Oh, and you need one for the seawall too. For
Oh.
Marcellus. So we have two payments.
Did
Were
we already
these-
approve that through the
Were these in
bills?
the bills?
They were. They were, so I don't.
Powis and Marcellus were in the bills, correct? Okay.
Yeah,
so I'll-
so we
I'll
already
sign
did it.
these. Cool.
Yeah.
You guys are waiting on me. Any other questions for BCA? Anything else we should be doing for this RIA thing ahead of time?
Letters of support, businesses, other political representatives always help.
What's the middle date?
September 12th. Also, we'll be updating too with some of the more recent breaks in the water main as well that it's making track of.
We have a new resident that might be able to help us with that.
It's 2 doors down.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a new resident that might be able to help us with a letter of support.
Perfect.
Cool. All right. Next up is Peggy.
Well, included in the packet is the village clerk responsibilities, deputy clerk responsibilities. That and the other things that I need to report is there's still no water billing.
They just copied me on that email. Or you sent it to me and I emailed them asking for the files so I can see what they're dealing with and see if I can help. This proposal from Core and Maine, is this to integrate the two?
That is the census integration team. It's almost.
Yeah.
Why is this needed again? I thought when they switched this is for the water bill, right? So when they switched companies, we were told, or switched programs,
Yeah.
we weren't supposed to have to pay extra
We
money.
can, well, we can get out of this Eldorado contract at this point because,
Okay.
but the question is if one of the other services is worth doing, they were cheaper by almost half. So,
But we're 7 months in now and we
Yeah.
still don't have a system that's
Correct.
working. So I'm
very, very frustrated with the whole system, but one of my hesitancies was we couldn't even switch until we had fixed the database so that the service addresses matched the mailing address and matched. And it's parcel IDs. Just finish that last portion of completely double checking every bit of data from that. And correcting all many mistakes.
yeah. I think I just got the files. And so one is just like a normal CSV with the columns and the other is just looks like a corrupted MP3 file. It's all garbage. I'm going to try and work with them and see if I can, even if it's a little manual and it takes 20 minutes of moving columns each time, we can do that manually twice and I'll automate it. $9,000's a lot. So I at least
so this is for them to do what you're
gonna try.
gonna try to do.
Yeah.
So what happens if that doesn't work? We can't keep
Then-
going and not
then I
billing
think we
people
have
for
to-
water.
We
So
eventually have to just bite the bullet and let them
is there
extort
another?
us for software.
Oh.
But what I do at least appreciate is this isn't El Dorado. This is, we're paying census. But El Dorado's not getting more money for being a pain. Now, we still lose the 8 grand, but at least feels a little less frustrating because it's not going to the company that is causing the problems at the very least. But I think there's a pretty good chance I can sort it out now that I have, this guy answered my email within like 20 minutes, this Levi. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a swing at it for,
Would
a
it
week or so.
be something that we, instead of paying this, are we in a position now where we get out of that El Dorado contract and we
still have to do actual buildings.
do?
We can change that.
yeah.
On the transition, we need to build. And Levi assured me that you could backdate and get the reasons from. So that
If we pay the 9,000, we can bill, is that what I'm hearing?
No.
Okay, that's not what I'm hearing.
the $9,000 bill would be for the census integration. He does not work directly for census. He works for our supplier of census meters. The Port Maine company.
Okay.
The Port Maine 19.
So do we want to vote on authorizing us to take this proposal and do it if sometime in the next 2 weeks, I decide this is above my pay grade? Or do we want to wait till next meeting? And
I don't think we should wait. We're already late in getting bills out.
so
I don't want to
basically
wait.
then the way to phrase it is we're gonna approve this optionally.
Would it
if I
be
can't
faster if
fix
we
it.
just went this option and lifted the load from your shoulders and we just said do it? Because if that's what we're gonna end up doing anyways, would it be quicker if
I
we
mean,
just did that?
Yes, but like, I just got the files, and if it's, I'll be really annoyed if it's something because I'll end up tinkering with it just anyway, and then if I figure out I could have done it, that's gonna drive me crazy. So give me like a week or so, and if I can't make progress, then we'll call this in.
All right, so let's pick a date then and
Yeah.
say if it's not done by a certain date, what's today, the 15th?
You gonna say the end of the month? 2 weeks?
Yes, I would say,
And if I'm not making progress by the end of the week, we'll send it in,
okay,
because,
You'll know long before the end of the month.
Yeah. well, the issue is if I start to make good progress, it might
Yeah.
still take me a little. So I'll
Right.
call uncle pretty quick if it's.
I mean, you
terrible.
should,
If
you
I'm-
should have a sense that this is out of my.
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, like, the end of next week's fine, but that's close to the end of the month anyways. Right, we're talking 10 days versus 4.
All right, so could you theoretically say by July 25th, then you'll
Is
have
that
a good
next
idea? Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be next Friday.
That's fine.
And then you'll just let us know that we ended up going with the contract? Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. I just don't want to wait and have to wait till the August meeting and then
No, I
we're
agree.
push it back out again and.
How long once we pay them? If you can't
Did
do
they
it?
say how long this would take? Okay, I'll get a date from Levi. He's pretty responsive. Like I said, Peg
Probably
copied
faster
me
than
on
we've
email
been doing it for
yesterday.
5
I've
months.
emailed him.
So,
I've emailed Levi with a question last night and he had replied by this morning. So he's pretty quick to reply. I'm not gonna be chasing him. Plus he put his cell phone here, so.
Just one billing cycle. And we're-
Yeah, they didn't bill
we're
in
at
June.
It's the next.
correct.
The first billing cycle that we built, I could not get it to work. They were most unhelpful. Playing it at the flat rate at
Right.
minimum. And which was not a good thing to do, but we had no choice. At that point, I had lost so much confidence in myself. My goal was to get the business called out and get the data in a situation where it could be transferred to another program without being all screwed up.
Right.
So that's.
All right, so do you need a motion because that's over?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right, I'll make a motion to pay or to approve this bid in the event that Alex tells us on the 25th that he is unable to complete the job. Does that sound
Sounds good.
appropriate? Okay,
I'll second.
thank
All
you.
right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Peg, on these here, the responsibility docs. The goal was basically, we understand that both the deputy clerk and clerk cover for each other on everything, but it's good, I think, to have who's the primary, if you're both here on a normal day and everything's running smoothly, which I know has been a minute since that's been the case. Who's in charge of each thing, right? And also this gives us a list of things for Carolyn to walk down and say, all right, she's on week 2. She knows how to greet and assist customers, right? You can check off each of these and say which ones she has a question on or which one she knows how to do.
We have been going over just about everything as things come up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this just gives us a good checklist to you can check them off as you're confident. And also we know that this isn't comprehensive because you guys do all sorts of very rare things once every 2 years or 1 year, but we wanted to have something that was at least a good rough outline. So yeah, if you have anything that you think we should move around or get rid of or flip or add.
I wanted to point out too, and I told Lynn this, we assigned the deputy clerk to the DPW department so that if Lynn needs something, phone calls or something like his list of things typed up that he knows who to ask so that they're done on time. I'm trying to find his font that's like this big, that Caroline would be his secretary.
I know where it's going to. If she has a lot on her plate.
Right.
Like that big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not, and that's, this isn't so that when you ask for help, Carolyn goes, not on my list, you're on your own, right? It's just so that we have a primary point of contact. But yeah, it makes sense that you don't have to be on for her to be covering things if you're swamped with water billing. Cool. Any other questions for the clerk's office? All right, I have a Can-Am Festival report bullet line. There's a letter in here. Basically going over what they need from us. Lynn, if you've got eyes on this, right? So you know it's on your list. I purchased 4 of the Can-Am flags for them to sell at the booth. Is everyone going to be at the parade? Well, let's see what else. Yeah, I don't think there's any, and there's a few things they need from you guys, Lynn, but I think you're talking to Brenda directly, right?
I'm gonna add that as a board,
Oh,
goes with
correct.
Can.
Thanks for remembering.
We do this every year. We're not good at this. I'm just gonna say this. Every year we run to the last second to decide who's the volunteer of the year, the citizen of the year, and the grand mark. We are horrible at
We
this.
have a
I'm
good
just gonna.
excuse now. We can blame Ron. He's not here.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
We're gonna do that? Okay. So I asked Brenda for suggestions. I was like, who do you think should do it? So here are her recommendations. We have to approve it and then I can let her know. She wants to give the volunteers of the year to the Watertown Savings Bank staff, Stephanie, Melissa, and Amy, because they are constantly volunteering throughout the village, a lot of things at the Legion. So they would like to have all 3 of them as volunteers of the year. Citizen of the year, she would like to have Patty Stevens for being the bell ringer. And she wants to have the grand marshal be Jeff Robbins. I said with a caveat that perhaps his basketball team walked with him. He did text her today that there might be a conflict about whether or not he can attend. So the question is, if he can't attend, do we just go without one? That's probably the easiest. But he's trying to rearrange whatever he had going on to be present for the parade, and we'll just kind of go with it. The board, the pleasure of the board, and what you guys want to do.
Sounds good to me.
Do all of those sound? I could not think of, I'm horrible at this. I could not think of someone. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. The other thing that she mentioned that we really need to fix is our placard does not show the last 3 years of winners. We need to update that. The last 3 years of visitor, of volunteer, citizen. We really need to get those placards on there to include this year's. So I will have Brenda stop into the office and give previous year's names just so that we have it and then get those placards made so that that's up to date.
Those are right there, right?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, she said the last, at least 2 years are not
Sure.
on there. And then this year would need to be put on there as well.
Cool. Any other questions about the Can-Ams?
The ones for this year. Stephanie, Elliott, I don't know
Melissa.
Melissa,
Actually, last name.
last name? Bowers
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You're right.
and Amy. I only know them by their first names. Stephanie, Melissa, and Amy. From Watertown Savings Bank. And then Citizen of the Year is Patty Stevens. And the Grand Marshal would be Jeff Robbins.
Amy's husband used to run the chamber. Was their last name? No. Previous person though.
That's all I have.
It's also a senior citizen in the year, I think.
I know, do they
They
use,
already
they
announced.
already had
Yep.
their, yeah, theirs was announced separately.
It was early and I think Maxim.
Yes, yes, it was. Okay.
Cool. All right, I have Ron's resignation letter we talked about.
That is signature box?
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
We did it on DocuSign. Got really good handwriting.
Yeah, very good handwriting.
All right. And then we're on to community orgs. Anything from the chamber you got? Yeah, before.
Yeah, from the chamber, we have a coordination meeting for the Oktoberfest working group. And this is a coordination meeting. We'll be briefing public, all concerned parties. And of course, includes everybody in this room would like to attend. That occurs on the 24th of July. That's a week from this Thursday, 6 o'clock at the ball. So we'll be presenting graphics on the screen, coordination details, where things are going to take place, what our scheduled events are. Then for individuals like you, it's an opportunity for you to say, hey, I think you're missing this. So it's an opportunity for us to receive information to make sure we're not missing anything. It also serves to make sure that the businesses, the food and beverages up and down Main Street, and members of the Sackets Harbor Chamber, Sackets Harbor business community at large understand what roles they can play. Obviously, all of our civic leaders are encouraged to attend. 24th of July, 6 o'clock at the ballroom. And just a reminder for the Village Capital B, we have our permit applications been submitted. We don't need an answer right now. Nobody's on the spot. Just a reminder that that is going through the system right now. So it ends up in your inbox. I'm done. If you have any questions at all, everybody here has my phone number or knows how to get in touch with me. There's no rush on that. It's just a reminder that you're going to see it in your inbox.
Awesome.
I'm happy to field any questions if we have any right now. We have 2.5 months left. Well ahead of the bell curve on this one.
Any questions, guys? Anything else from chamber side? Cool. Any other? Oh, yeah.
So Halloweenville, we already submitted the application for permit. And we are going to have our next meeting tomorrow at 5:30. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us.
Awesome.
You asked before about Dave's forums.
Yep.
That is also the first year, 2024, that is 4 to 7.
4 to 7. All right. Start there.
Yes, sir, there, and then go over to October.
Easy.
We can flip.
It's 4 to 7, so it's 2 hours before your start, so.
All right.
Hopefully it'll be over.
Cool. That's at the visitor center. Okay. Cool. Any other community group reps here? Cool. All right. I don't have anything on my reports this month except water stuff we talked about. You and I need to get together. I gotta show you the lock stuff, because I gotta get that order in, but I know everything's been slammed, so I haven't.
I reminded him the other day, but that's okay.
Yeah, what I can do too is I'll start with the ones I know. The glass one, we'll have to look it together and see if you think it'll work. Because that one's a little trickier, but we can get the system in place for the back at least. Any non-glass door works fine, so I know what I need for those. Remind me, is that in? Oh no, we're already in yeah, so it's in this budget. Or, no, that's ARPA money, yeah, so we have to spend it by the end of the year, okay. We'll take a second to be excited about something kind of silly, but this hazard mitigation thing. Started nagging them about this like 3.5 years ago, and now it's done, so. Now, if the lake decides to eat some of our village again, we'll have access to more money than last time, because we did not qualify for some of the DR, I think it was 4848 or whatever the one was that we didn't qualify for, because Jefferson County was one of the only counties in New York with a out-of-date hazard mitigation plan. So there was yeah, just happy that's done. Any other questions for me, guys? Cool. Ellie, you're up.
I only have a couple of things. The fire department, fire reports, they, for the month of June, had 2 MBAs, 12 fire calls, 28 EMS calls, only 4 of them could they not get manpower, so that's good, and 1 boat call.
We gotta work on that.
We do have to work on that. I attended the 4th of July fireworks meeting on behalf of the village. One thing that I just want to mention, they closed the parking lot again. And it was brought up, we tried to get them to not close the parking lot. They're dead set on closing the parking lot. We did ask them to consider, apparently according to Connie, that came from higher up, not from her. We asked that perhaps in the future that parking lot be open, if only for handicap parking. She was like, oh, well, I can leave the 2 slots that are open for, and I was like, no. I mean, the whole lot for handicap people. It would just make sense.
So
She was,
catch her out. Basically, she's made the argument that because it's so busy, the parking lot's too dangerous, so they closed. And because there's hundreds of cars and the parking lot only fits 50, they closed it. And it's like, well, that just pushes people into more people's yards.
they tried to make it sound like it wasn't that big of a deal, given that we have 6,000 people that are coming, but it's still 50 parking spots, right?
Yep.
And if we have 50 handicapped people and it's first come, first serve, it is what it is.
Yep.
I would like to continue pressing that at least they open it for handicap parking. I just feel like they're in our village. I don't know. I feel pretty strongly about that.
Yep.
So just letting
I
you know
think
that there's
you've
still
got a
conversation.
follow-up meeting.
We do. I have a follow-up meeting Thursday. I will bring that up again. I have a feeling they're gonna close the lot again for Can-Am.
Probably. They tried to close it for the eclipse and we
do.
took the tapes down.
We did. So I don't know what's that gonna work. Do you know if they closed that for Can-Am? I think they did.
Well, the fireworks are in a different area.
They are in a different area. That's true.
Where are they shooting this year?
That was static.
That's during the day though.
They're not doing Augsbury again, are they?
They are. They're doing the LDC lot
Okay.
again.
It said, wait, I just read that. It said, behind the visitor center.
Yeah, so they're gonna
Half
do
the
it from the
planets. By that logic.
Yeah.
they're gonna be in the LDC and then shooting it
just shoot
straight
them-
up.
Just shoot them
Okay.
high. So they don't do any like low to the ground stuff. 'Cause-
It is, again, I'm just letting you guys know that the parking lot was an issue again. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Again, and that wasn't, I didn't even bring it up. The fire department brought it up. They were like, it needs to be.
Events in the
No.
village.
No, it's only when we do something, they close it. I feel like.
I'm just curious.
The other thing I wanted to mention, I had a resident, which I already talked to Lynn about this, but I'm just putting it on your reminder that when you paint the lots, the senior citizens, when they had their dinner here last Monday, They have a lot of parking out here and someone parked in front of this water, where this guy's getting water right now, and blocked it.
Yeah.
And there was an older gentleman that was trying to hoof water jugs from way over there. Somebody parked in front of it. So I've asked Lynn to either, because you said you're painting the lot back there, maybe paint something that
Yeah,
says
I'd
water
do
parking
blue,
only or
right, to say-
something. And I do want to reach out to the senior group and ask them to let their
Just, yeah.
members know not to park in front of the water site. The only other thing I had that is kind of old business, I'll bring it up now. I know I've talked about in the past about the contact system that I got prices on, Quick Sync. I'd really like to move forward on that. It's $1,300 a year, $150 to implement. They will help walk us through how to get residents to sign up for it. I did walk through the module again to kind of look at it. It's a great public alert system. We can set it up if we know a road's going to be closed. If there's a water break, we can let people, certain residents know, hey, there's a water break in your area. We can tell them many different things. One feature that I did think was kind of cool is you could do polling questions, which made me think of that survey that we keep talking about. If people sign up, we can filter that. I know we have people that get our emails that aren't actual residents, but still want to know what's going on. We can filter the database to say they live in Sackett's Harbor or they're in the town of Hounsfield, and we can specifically send a polling question to just that group. There's a way to filter it based on their address. I would like to move forward with it. I think we need to be better about communicating with residents. I don't like using Facebook all the time. I know I brought this up. I just think this would be a more professional way of reaching out. They can sign up through whatever medium they want. They can choose, I want a phone call. They can choose, I want to get a text message, or they can get an email. It's going to take some work on our end to get people to sign up for it. But I think once it's up there, I think we'll have use for it. So I would like to move forward on it.
Yeah, I question whether or not people will sign up.
I mean,
I think if we decide to do it, I'd like to explicitly say we're gonna do it once and not just keep it going because 13 people, we have to have some number of
Agreed.
people, otherwise we can't.
well, and the price too, I think if I remember correctly, if we don't get what we're hoping to get,
Yeah.
I think that dollar amount could potentially change.
Okay.
It is based on the number of people that sign up for it. And I agree with you. If we do it for the 3-year contract and it flops, then I can
Yeah.
be like, okay, this is what we tried. And then when residents come to us,
For the 3 years or?
it's $1,300 each year for 3 years. But they hold the data. They kind of help walk us through setting it up.
Is there a cost to the person who signs up?
No, it's only on us. So
Yeah, most people don't have text plans where they pay per receipt
Correct.
anymore. I mean, technically you could if you have like the really, really cheap, like pay-as-you-go card. But they would know when they sign up that that's gonna cost.
I just feel like every so often, I feel like every month a resident is saying, I didn't know, you didn't communicate to us. And if we can at least say, well, this is what we're trying to do to combat that. We've tried I don't know any other thing to try. And this to me is an option.
Price point is reasonable for a 3-year trial period. I think it is way more professional.
Then a Facebook post. Thank you.
Well, my one question would be, who is in charge of spitting the information out?
And I think we would designate a person. I don't know if we would want, I don't know. That's a question. I think someone in the office, maybe Caroline can kind of help roll that out with me because Peggy's working on the water. I don't want to add extra to you, but if it's a new thing, I don't know. I don't
So
know.
Right now with the website, I have access and the office has access. And so when I went on like Hounsfield's site and they had that road closure alert bar, I just copied theirs and put it in ours because the previous alert bar was basketball signups and they were over.
Yeah, we need to
So
do better about
people,
keeping
like,
that
we can
updated.
have a method of saying, all right, there's 2 people that can push the spam everyone button. And then we let everybody say, here's what I suggest you put in, but obviously you don't want to be overwhelming people, because I would unsubscribe if you're telling me
I would
every
too.
week, I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah, I don't want to overuse it. I want to use it for specific things, you know,
Yeah.
there's a road closure because Can-Am's happening.
Like our
I
last
know
minute-
everybody should know that, but
Last
we
minute
should
meeting changes.
last minute, or the office closed because of inclement weather. That happens in the winter time where we're like, okay, we're closing early, we're sending the staff home.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, where I don't want to put that on Facebook. I should be able to send that out. We could try it. I don't know. I'm hoping it would replace the need to put things on Facebook. I know that's where people go, but I really am uncomfortable about putting I seem to be the only one doing that. And sometimes I catch flack and I'd rather not have a way. They can reply. There is a way. You could have a two-way conversation.
Somebody will repost it. Like if we don't post
Maybe.
an announcement.
And
somebody
that's
on
okay. And then
Facebook
it's on
everybody's
them and it's not
Yeah.
on us and
Yeah.
it went from somebody else. But,
How? It goes back to, you know, what we've been struggling with all along. How do you do that initial?
I think initially we're gonna have to put it out on social media. We're gonna have to do a graphic of we're gonna have to do our best to get the knowledge out that this is what we're doing. And you're right, we're probably
You
gonna,
know, social media falls short.
it does, but it's at least a
But
spring.
yeah, reaching the people who already can be reached on social media to
Right.
add them to another channel is the opposite of what we're trying to
But
do,
I think
right?
we can post things in the post office. We can put it in Christie Beans. We can put things in the bank that there's a sign
Yeah,
up.
no,
I don't know if we,
strategy, because
I think we're gonna need to do some like QR codes where people can like, right?
A simple mailer to everyone.
We
It's
talked
expensive.
about mailers
It's a few
before.
$1,000s.
But I think if, again, if we put QR codes around the village, whether it's at the Nice and Easy, whether it's at all the shops, we did that. And we put it on social media and we put it in the email blast to be like, we're trying to do a better way of communicating and just share with them that this is what we're trying to do. I don't know.
I still think the best way to do it is a mailer.
We
I
can do
agree.
it, but if we're gonna do a mailer, we should set it up first, make sure it's very highly tested. Because there's a hard cost, right? So
Yeah.
it's half the price of a stamp if we send it to everyone in the zip code. The problem is, I do these for my campaign mailers. There's two zones in Sackets. There's like half of the village, and then there's the other half and a bunch of Hounsfield, which for this is actually fine. For like when you're mailing it out for the election, there's a bunch of people
That didn't
who are
get it.
confused as to, I'm like, I hope they don't come to try and vote here because they think they're in the district, they're not. But you can't get to everyone
I'm not
in the
opposed
village
to
only.
sending a mailer. I think that's a good strategy in addition to putting QR codes throughout the village.
It's
It is. And I think initially, I mean, if we pay for it, I think in the long run, we'll have less people telling us, I didn't know this was happening.
Well, the answer to that question now becomes every time someone complains, you're like, get out your phone.
And get on
Text
the,
it
this
now.
is how we communicate, so you need to sign up.
And so
Because
there's-
right now, all I have is Facebook and the email.
Yeah,
We have quite a few telephone numbers of the water.
yeah.
For residents and for owners of property in the village. And,
It is technically against the FCC regulations to subscribe someone to automated messages without their consent, but I doubt anyone would complain.
I had a thought, everybody is used to getting text messages from the doctors now.
Yeah,
Saying, you know.
Sign up here.
Yes.
that's true.
Enroll.
Yeah.
And that might be an option once we get this. I mean, I might be able to, as part of the implementation, see if that's
Yeah.
out there. They did ask, because I said, you know, we have a database. There are some landline numbers that are in there that aren't cell numbers that wouldn't work for them, but I think the easiest way is just for residents to sign up on their own and then they can't say we signed them up for something that they didn't want. I think we need a better way of communicating and this is the only option. I know as I said,
I bet they have this single opt-in where you send them one message, just like, hey, we'll never bother you again.
And they
If you don't
might.
click yes, but if you want. to be on
Evans
this
Mills,
list-
I think I shared with you, that's where I found Evans Mills is a small community. This
Yeah.
is what they used. And I mean, again, they're working on getting people to sign up for it, but I think word of mouth, if we just tell people. So I would like to move forward. So I would like
We allocated it, right?
we,
allocated some funds in case we wanted to do it.
I think we did.
And
It's
there
in
was
the-
more than this. So
Okay.
it's well within, I think we did like 3.
I think we did.
Belinda, do you remember?
Talking.
Hey, Belinda.
Belinda.
Belinda. Hey, do you remember, what amount we allocated? We put a budget line for this. Was it $3,000? I'm pretty confident it was above 1,300. I just want to make sure.
If not, I think we said that between the office and the whatever budget that we could make it work. if we didn't do another,
Okay, no
I don't-
problem. I mean, I think it'll be enough that we can basically pay for this and do a mailer with the money
okay,
and then
all
you
right.
know, lower the
So-
budget next year.
I don't know if I can make the motion because I brought it up.
You can.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to move forward with the Quick Sync Code Red contract.
I think, I have one question for, I mean, I think it's good, but you've looked at a few different ones.
Yes.
This is probably the cheapest.
Yes,
And it's one that a local community likes
Yep.
and it's under the 2,500. So I
Yes.
think that is good enough for our procurement policy. I don't think we need like printed quotes.
okay.
But I just wanted to confirm.
So I make a motion to sign a contract and get moving on it. Have time available to kind of implement it before I go back to school. So for me, this is a good time to get it moving.
I would suggest we add the caveat that we will launch this with a mailer to.
I support that too. And I'm willing to take on the front end and put the work in and maybe work with Caroline to get this off and running. Get the mailer together, whether we do a Canva or whatever and figure that all out. I'm willing to do that.
A second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Perfect. That's all I have. Sorry, I was longer as usual.
You're up, Greg.
Okay, so we mentioned the LDC and Ambrose Street a few minutes ago. Driving down Ambrose today, I noticed that Tim Abel and crew are out there doing the archaeological survey. They were on the south side, but everything is flagged and
I saw that
it
too.
looked like they were doing the shovel.
Yeah.
Shovels. So, I think we should have the report by late summer or the fall, right? Yeah. Something like that.
Have they already done the northern part or did they just?
Most of that's all over.
It was already done,
So
okay.
There's very little of it that needs to be done.
Okay.
It's just the part that's like farthest, where are we, out Ambrose.
Okay.
And they were all in long pants.
I had a metal detector. I saw one of them had a, yep. It did not look like a fun job. I'm not gonna lie.
Wrong time of year to do that.
Yeah, it was very hot.
That's all I had.
Awesome. Sarah?
Yeah, so going back to the pickleball courts back here, I have had a couple residents ask about replacing or refurbishing the basketball hoops. So it sounds like we're potentially getting money
Yeah.
donated for one of them. Do we have money in our reserve fund or any funds to?
I think the plan might be to take down one set and just have one court and one pickleball court.
Gotcha.
I don't know that I've ever seen enough people using the basketball hoops that we would need two concurrently.
It's strange that two separate people have come up just
Yeah.
since the beginning of summer.
Yeah, and I think it will get a lot of use as a pickleball court.
Right, and that was my next question. We're able to have the pickleball court and also the basketball court simultaneously.
Yeah,
I think the reason why people were coming up is because there was only one net at the school. Because the back would have been broken and they just put it back up.
got it.
So they now have a full court to play.
Interesting.
That's it for me.
Good. Tina, I expect a real long report here from you since you're.
I have nothing to report except that I had about 80 people from out of town in this weekend. And every single one of my friends, and they're all snobs, said that the village looked great and they loved it. And they were absolutely amazing with the amount of people in the village, how easy it was to get around. Kudos to you and the cops.
Welcome aboard, sir. All right, so we didn't have any correspondence. I have the resolution for the village to adopt the hazard mitigation plan. This, I think, oh, they don't need a roll call. I don't need to read this through, right? Or do I?
Want to summarize?
Yeah, so essentially what we're signing on to a multi-jurisdictional hazard plan headed by the county. We gave a bunch of data about, different risks and things in the village, flooding. Flooding's the big one, wind, snowstorms, Lynn helped go through, I don't remember the name of the person at the county and at the consultancy that we worked with, but basically this is similar to our like emergency plan where we have some idea of, okay, if there's a disaster, what are the steps to take? And then having this plan in place is required for a lot of FEMA and New York emergency like response money. If we have to do repairs, like if that tornado that wasn't, if those trees that all fell really close to buildings, hit 6 or 7 buildings, this is the sort of policy that gets us access to funding to, replace those buildings. It doesn't really require us to have, there's no cost to the village. It did cost us in time to do it, but it's required for every municipality to participate. So it's a huge pain in the butt for the county because they have to hunt down everyone. And they managed to do it. And so this will last 5 years and then we'll have to readopt a new plan. But I will make a motion to accept resolution number 10, adopting the 2025 Jefferson County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. All right. Next up, I didn't have any other old business. Does anyone have anything we missed that we need to finish talking about? I think we got most of the open stuff with Lynn earlier. Cool. All right. New business. There is 2 event permits in here. One is the boat show and then the 1812 challenge. They are moving the date of the 1812 challenge. It is not on the solstice because the solstice run guys were nervous about that. I did talk to him. He thought that it was like a roll. He was like, "Oh, we did it once. I thought you guys knew." I'm like, "No, you have to apply every year." He understands. He's going to put in the application for next solstice run soon. So we should expect that.
For anybody that's wondering what he's talking about, the solstice run did the run without permission from the village. They did an
They
event
didn't actually
without
close
telling
any
us.
streets, but
No,
they
but
had
there
enough
was,
runners
they
where
had enough
it was
runners where it was
functionally
a problem.
closed. And it just, for whatever reason, I thought he had gone through it, but the reason is
I knew the run was coming. I just
Yeah.
assumed it was something we already approved.
Yeah.
So the signs.
No, it was here
Yeah.
and I wasn't
The
thinking
year
about
prior
it.
was his first one. It was the Thursday night, remember? And we were
Yes.
concerned about shutting traffic at all, but it was like 10 minutes. So we did it. And obviously the solstice is on the 21st. So that rolls. It's a different day of the week every year.
Here, it was on a Friday.
Yep.
It was busy and people complained online that we didn't tell them. It was going to be both.
Well, soon they'll be getting text
But
messages.
that's why I'm like, now they can sign up and I can say, now you know. Stop calling me that you didn't know.
But this looks pretty much the same as this year's, except the date is slightly later in the month. It's the 27th and 28th.
I'll make a motion to approve both of those event applications.
I will second. All in favor?
I
Well, and then I have a recurring contract where we are essentially the cannon on the visitor center. It's every year.
thought we did it last month. That we talked about it.
We
Okay.
might have.
Maybe you brought it up. I remember
Years blur together, Kelly.
apparently.
Yeah, so it's basically extending our loan of the cannon from October this year to September of next year. I will make a motion to sign this $0 loan agreement.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so I will sign this for Peg. And that's all for new business on my end as well. Anybody have anything new? Exciting? Okay. You got anything, Peggy? Belinda? Okay.
Do the quilt show with the 1812 challenge.
Yes, she made a motion for.
I did them both at the same time.
We have one more public comment section, so I'll open the floor.
Back off of what Trustee DeVito said, feedback from the voters, again, I mentioned this a couple of years ago. What a beautiful village, just the constant, that's helping. Flowers. Somebody asked me, last week if there's a competition going amongst the neighbors or something. Everybody's placed great things. Good thing.
Is Robert Hutchinson, live at 305 North Broad Street. I submitted a packet back in May to get reviewed. I went to Peggy, she said she gave it to Lynn. My sewer kind of exploded. Lynn was on site. They were to see some damage that happened. It was the sewer main that was caused the lot, not necessarily my house. So I was just asking for reimbursement, and I just wanted to know if anyone had seen it higher than Peggy or Lynn. They were successful.
I have not looked at it. Did you get eyes on it yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought you guys,
We talked, but I don't remember the specifics. Did we have a resolution to it? Did we decide where?
Remind me.
Yeah, I'm happy to look at a copy. I know we talked about it, but I don't recall what the resolution was.
I don't need an answer for you guys.
Sure.
I brought a copy in case.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, we'll discuss and, is your phone number on here? Okay, I'll message you. Yeah. All right, anything else for public comments? Anybody on Zoom? Besides the sky? All right,
Right,
well, somebody else is gonna have to start
I'll make
making
a
the,
motion to adjourn.
all right.
You're not allowed to do
All in
that.
favor?
I,
I second.
it was Lynn. I dare you to put it in there.
Hey,
this is
Oh.
the deduct cheeseburger.
got it. Yep, and I got those two for you here. You know.
And so you can either hang on to these, or they can be like extra, that I hang on to them.
Perfect. Probably the windows.
Okay.
So you'll probably have to scan them in and then I'll submit it to Rusty.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Like our. Yeah, and then with the foil.
Oh my gosh, so much use.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah, I keep my agenda with my to-do and then the rest I ditch, but I'm just gonna. Do you remember what we just did? Let's say that it wasn't.
There was, I think we needed to learn about it.
Okay.
Cause I was.
That's how our family is, so we go whenever we want.
Yeah, it's smelling trees.
Oh, and I didn't want to be like, I think we need to talk.
4 feet deep. So,
He's running out the door. Before, sorry, we gotta grab Lynn to get an answer to that question, cause I'm like, I think you remember Lynn telling me something else. Before he tries to run out the door.
Stay
I want to put you on the spot, but.
There's not, yeah, for them it's deep.
I mean, when you break a squeak. You break something for my.
He still hasn't done that? Damn it, okay, I will put that on my note. No, I thought we were,
Bring it up there.
no, we were supposed to do that like 4 months ago. I will add that to my.
Big thing that.
Okay.
It's a personnel policy. I'll write it, so I'll put the timing, add it, personnel policy.
Next something.
Well, and
What you just did.
if I add the position, it's his name, say, okay, all right, so.
But I'll write up something
I
to
thought
give
you
you
already,
an idea. No,
I thought you already did that. I did
I've been
already.
doing it for 3 years, Kelly.
Okay, well, give it to me and let me
I'll
follow
put it in
through.
the box.
Do that, okay? Thank you.
I didn't want to make it seem.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Appreciate that.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
So they overcharge you.
Okay, are you getting the answers to that?
Yeah, but the bottom line is,
So they're saying